Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. I am Brandon Alvarado. How's everybody doing out there? I am very excited to be here to talk anime again in this awesome pod format and talking anime with awesome people, um, with all you guys and my good friends and ally in the anime madness, Mr. Isaac Wolf. What's up, man?
It's going good. It's going good. For once in my life, I'm not tired.
Wow, that is unheard of. Doc Isaac not tired. I
Yeah,
don't know how it's possible, but apparently it is. It is a thing that can happen in this universe, in this
exactly.
multiverse.
Exactly.
Nice. So, welcome guys to the Amateur Taco Podcast, where we talk awesome anime, manga, and we do it in a weekly basis. And we try to cover things that are hip and awesome going on, like the amazing job that Leo, Mike, and Isaac are doing with My Hero Academia, with the My Hero Academia manga, and the upcoming recordings on My Hero Academia spin-off anime Vigilantes. Also doing reviews on anime touches or spin-offs of major properties. Like we've talked about Pokemon, we've talked about Batman, we've talked about Star Wars Visions, and now most of the times when I have a chance to come back to the show, Isaac and I like to try and do more of the streamlined or more of those hidden gems that are out there, mostly on the Netflix library and onwards of great anime content. And today is no different. Today we're going to talk about a an amazing, I'm not going to say movie, but collection of short films that is available on Netflix. I'm going to say nationwide because if it's available in the U.S. and in Scandinavia and Sweden, where Isaac has it in Netflix, I'm pretty confident it's available everywhere, right?
It's on. It's worldwide, as far as I know. Yes.
Yeah, and that is none other than the film or collection known as Flavors of Youth. It is a collection of three films, if I'm not mistaken. It's three short films, um, and it's literally capturing different stories of literally youth, and some cover sibling relationships, some covers wholesome memories connected to food, other covers love, like the different kind of things that you could say are the type of experiences or relationships that mark the lives of young people across the world. But this is, of course, through a lens that is unique to China. And I do find it interesting that everything takes place in China because, of course, most of the times, anime, when we think of anime, we think of what? Japan, which even though they're all Asian countries, Oriental countries, they're very different cultures and beliefs and stuff like that. So I really like the fact that this animation, this anime explored that culture. And I don't know why, but I like the fact that Comics Wave was the production company because that is one of the premier anime companies I think right now. Especially, I mean, after Your Name, okay, but after the big hit that was Weathering with You, I mean, Comics Ways, of course, is known as one of the biggest movie more than anything anime company, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think, I mean, do you recall watching any animes like actual anime series or serials made by them? Because I don't think I've seen any.
Not that I'm aware of. Also, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just I think that's the only. I mean, this will be the closest thing to it, right? Because you have the the fact that there's just three stories, one after the other. But overall, I mean, I'm excited for to talk about this because I think it's a very good and wholesome piece of art. Um,
You
why are you laughing?
will understand soon.
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, I had a good time watching it. Um, Is this the first time you've seen it, Isaac? I mean, for the pod itself, or
It's the first time I've seen it, and
okay,
honestly, I didn't like it.
Really? You didn't like it like at all, or like
No,
not even one of the three films or anything?
the closest one I liked was the one of the sisters,
Okay.
because
Okay.
at the majority of it, it felt like a good social commentary on how models and all that, yes, felt the pressures within the society
Mm-hmm.
around the globe, because they how they end up what struggles they have when they are getting older and all that kind of, yes. But
Mm-hmm.
then it just kind of ended up being like a sugar coated Pixar ending at the end of it, which made me just eh,
To
eh,
be fair, we everybody knew from the beginning that the sister was making clothes for her
sure,
sister. So
sure, but
in
still.
reality, there was not going to be any other ending. That was going to be
Also,
the ending.
also, then we also have the main actor for the third part, and I'm sorry, but that is some of the worst voice acting I have ever heard.
Well, and what you watched it in dubbed or subbed?
Dub,
Oh,
but
that's probably why. You know what? You know what's funny?
also I need to point out, because it was just automatic choices, and I'm just whatever. I just watch it. And then we have the first one where Crispin Freeman is voicing it, and Crispin Freeman is a legend. But he talks like he is reading a book. It's He talks about how he reads a book of a journey of a chef that that looks upon his youth and all that. Yes, and go so into detail for each and every flavor, and I'm just, uh,
But then
dude,
again, when you think
dude,
about it,
dude, you are too good for this. If you wonder
damn. See,
who,
it's funny because I actually enjoyed it. I'm happy that we're going to talk about something
maybe
that
I would
well,
like prefer it, like it more in the sub. I'm not gonna argue that, but the way it came across in the dub was like, if someone told me that this was made by Terrence Malick, who loves circle jerking himself, and say, "Notice my
oh
direction, notice
my,
my direction," I
yo,
would have believed that.
you might need to take a minute.
You
Yo,
know,
I mean,
you know that I am not afraid to doing some
yes,
just speak my mind. You know
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, first of all, those that are been fans of the amateur talker for a long time know that it's kind of rare that Isaac and I find something or talk about something that we're kind of at odds with. So here it is. We're at this impasse again, where we have very different thoughts about this.
It
Um,
wasn't the worst thing I've seen. Uh,
I know you're not saying that, but
it,
you're being
I
very
had,
clear that it wasn't
trust me,
necessarily
I
your cup
have
of tea.
seen far worse.
Oh yes, trust me, you have showed me far worse.
I mean, just if someone told me that I would have to, if you need to see poop 50 times in a row and I give you 5 million, I wouldn't still wouldn't do that, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
Poopa can go fuck itself down the
Whoa.
rabbit hole, so, but that's a
Oh my
difference.
god. The F word
Yeah,
has been dropped. I think this if we do it one more time, we'll go to rated R. We'll probably get the rating that Venom never had. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. So
for crying out loud, mate.
so
And you
but
call
yeah,
me, you call me off topic all the time.
yes, I do. I mean, I haven't done this in a while. So but yes, let's go. Can we talk about the movie again?
Yeah,
Um
we can do that.
Yeah, man, I gotta disagree with you. I actually liked it. I think it was nice, wholesome, simple. I mean, the way I saw the whole thing, because I like short stories, and I think whether we disagree with the execution or how cookie cutter some of the approaches to the direction and the storytelling were, you gotta. I think we can admit. I mean, I know that you sadly heard it in dub. I don't know why you would take the dub, but I know that you like to listen into different ways. I actually considered doing it. I've done that when, like, I'm watching. For those that don't know, Isaac and I will be covering JoJo's Bizarre Adventure very, very soon.
That
Um,
will be an
and
experience.
that's gonna be. All I'm gonna say is this: I never expected JoJo to be over dramatized Helsing, but that's a different story. Um, but I actually am watching JoJo. I watched a bit in English, and now I'm watching on the original sub, and both versions are pretty good, surprisingly.
I
But
mean,
no, but this one I never. I
they
heard it
have
straight up.
an extreme list of A-list voice actors for the subs, was it dubs? So that's not surprising.
Yeah. So I'm watching. So I watched Flavors of Youth. In the regular subtitle version, I think the voice acting was very good. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why I enjoyed the voice acting is because of probably the personal approach that maybe the actors had, just because it's little slice of life kind of moments and vignettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Um,
serious. If you watch the first one in particular in dub, you will understand what I mean with Crispin
it's
Freeman
it's like a
voice acts.
it's like a bad edition of the Home Food Network, huh?
No, no, he does a good job. It just, what the heck was the direction to that?
But then again, you gotta admit that particular episode, it does feel like someone's trying to teach how to make rice noodles. Um, but okay, but let's go. Let's talk about the actual direction. I think one of the things that makes this movie work for me is that the pacing is great. Like every short film is long enough for what they're doing. It's never
The
too
pacing is the
long.
least of this analogy series.
No, but you know what I
Uh,
mean. Like when you have a short film with a short story that's very simple, it having it overstaying its welcome. It's very easy for it to fall into that trap. You see what I'm saying? So these little three short films, they don't do that. Of course, the longest one is the last one, but of course, is because it's this whole, I don't know, like flashback thing, right? More so than the previous. Um, but you understand what I'm saying? Like they all are like it was edited and cut to the right amount of time for each vignette. Um, and none of them overstay their welcome. I like that you are actually able to watch them individually. I kind of don't like the fact that Netflix, with how many, because you kind of see this in many, like, you know how Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, you can either watch the whole movie or you can watch it divided in episodes, and that's like the extended edition or whatever. I mean, this is the kind of film or project that allows itself so easily that you can probably separate it where you can just watch it as three different episodes. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm surprised it's not put that way, because whether you watch it throughout or you watch the individuals, I think they're both very good ways of viewing it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I like wholesome stuff like this, and the animation was very good. I mean, you cannot watch a product, you cannot watch something from Comics Wave and not like how it looks, because everything looks great. You know what I mean?
yeah. The animation is gorgeous.
Yeah, the animation is gorgeous. Um, but I think what I can take from your response is, kids, what Isaac expresses is what happens when you watch it in the wrong language. No, I mean kind of, but not really. Um, But yeah, I'm really surprised you didn't like. I mean, okay, so you said the one that you liked the most was the second one, the one with the two sisters, right?
Yeah.
Um, so what did you like the most about it? Was it just the relationship between the sisters, or what? Or you mentioned like the social commentary or the kind of social commentary
Both.
about. Okay, okay. Because why
It is,
did that one feel the most real?
yes.
I mean, I liked that one a lot. But after enjoying Smile Down the Runway, I think I've had my fill with modeling for a bit. Um,
I will
but
go
yes,
so far to
yeah. Well, you know what I
to
mean.
say that in some extent, not in every part, but I would go so far that in some extent, that analogy series did a job in covering the whole model scene better than Smile Down the Runway, even though it was good for what it was.
Damn, did
But
you just
like I
say that
said,
this short was better than that series?
no, it wasn't. It just handled it to some extent better. Although,
Well,
in
now
terms
that
of
you say that,
quality, Smiles on the Runway is better in my book.
but you know what? Now that you say that, I'm thinking about this now. And of course, let's go off topic again because why not, right? Um, Smile Down the Runway doesn't really explore the whole anorexia bit or the whole excess, physical excess. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's
it really focuses on the business and both stories of the kids going to try and be the best in what they're doing. This one does take the time to explore that a bit. Um, which of course is what everybody talks about when it comes to like fashion and stuff like that. But I like the fact that it wasn't preachy. It was it really stayed in the lane of sharing this character's experience and not saying that this is what all of them go through. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because you know how you can make the mistake of saying, "Oh, all models do this or all models go through that," when that's not the point and that's not what they did. And I like the fact that they put it through like she is going through this and she went through this for XYZ reason and stuff like that. So that was a good touch. Um, but I like the one I like the most. So you have, I think we've talked a lot about everything, and we haven't even said what the three movies are. Um, should I give a little bit of a
yeah,
synopsis of each of the films?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think.
Do that, do that.
I mean, we should have done that probably 10 minutes ago, but we haven't
Yeah,
seen each other in a while or heard each other.
yeah. You and me both are masters of getting off topic, especially me. But
Yes,
I digress.
yes, yes. We are called the digressors. Um, that was so bad. Okay, so
Oh
flavors of
my!
youth, flavors of youth available everywhere. Um, it's three short films. The first film is called The Rice Noodles. The second film is called. So we got. Okay, where are we? First one's called The Rice Noodles. Second one's called The Little Fashion Show, and the last one is called Love in Shanghai, which is probably the name of a lot of movies because Love in Shanghai. So the first one is this kid remembering what happiness was in his youth, and a lot of that happiness came from having noodles with his grandmother, and when he was a kid, and it's all this him remembering great memories of his youth while eating noodles, and how moving away from home or forgetting how good those things are um affect, like, it's like how he, I don't know, like this one in particular, it talks about how as you sometimes as you get older and move on, you forget the things that make you happy. And it's all about him talking about the rice noodles as the one thing that connected him to happiness. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good poetry kind of thing. Um, yes, it goes Food Network on us, but of course, anime food is the most delicious looking food in the world, whether or not it has too many mushrooms. But that's rice noodles. The second one, a little fashion show, literally is the story of two girls that were orphaned, and one of them actually became famous as a supermodel. And it's all about the relationship of these two sisters, about this model that has been kind of the parent ever since he brought her sister to live with him. The sister wants to be a fashion designer, but it's really all about the big sister, right? Like the whole thing with the little sisters like on the side. It's all about her struggle about finding relevance and purpose in her life as she gets older. And I would even say that the big interesting theme of it is like she's the kind of person that she achieved her childhood dream, and what happens when the dream is no longer enough. You know what I mean? Because she
Yeah.
talks about how she always liked clothes and she always liked the modeling, but she got to a point where it just wasn't enough for her, probably because she couldn't do it anymore, and then it had to be like reinvented. Um, and that's where her sister comes along, and that's awesome. And the third one is about a kid that literally was in love with this girl, and when he found out that this girl was moving away for to go to school, because and this one I think is the most socially relevant story, especially for that culture, because you know that if one thing is true, at least that we've seen in most movies and media and whatever, is that one of the biggest things or points of competition in a young Chinese kid's life is his education. Like education is like one of the most premier things, right? And like their whole lives are driven by what they're going to study or are going to study, you know? And how forcing yourself to go at a certain path, you sacrifice so many things along the road. And what a very interesting and powerful story, the fact that you have this kid that gave everything up to be able to be close to the girl that he liked forever. And then, you know, how that story develops. And when he graduates and gets older, the results of all that. I mean, I think that one was like one of the more heartbreaking, but one of the most realistic approaches to that kind of love stories so much. And I think it's one of those stories to me that I like the most when it comes to like how Asian cultures portray love in media, because you know how love in most Western media is like overly sexualized. Like everything that has to do with love is like super sexy, right? I like how everything that's love related in these cultures is all about the relationship. It's all about the chivalry. It's all about that quiet romance that happens when nobody's noticing. You know what I mean? Like like most animes do it, and I like how this one did it very, very well. Because like you never see them kiss.
Arguably.
Yeah, you never see them kiss. Like for example, one of the biggest ones for me is that's why I like Your Name so much, because you don't see
Shall
anything.
I be honest?
Yeah,
And this is yet another controversial take, but then again, I'm Mr. Controversial Take. Controversial take, and we all know that. Is that anime is better in handling love stories than Western media.
of course it is.
I will go so far.
100%. It's actual romance. It's not, hey, I'm gonna show you that I love you when I fuck you. You know, it's not. It's sadly that's what Western media has turned the idea of 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 love, you know, or romance or companionship or whatever. Um, and I don't disagree with you. Anime does it best, and that's why I like that one the best. My favorite of the three films is that one. I like the Rice Noodles one. I'm okay with the Little Fashion Show, but Love in Shanghai to me is the highlight of the three films, which is why I like, and I think it justifies that. I think it's the longer of the three ones of the three, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I have to say about that. I mean, I think people should. I think if you have, it's 75 minutes to watch all of them. You don't have to watch all of them. But if you have 75 minutes, an hour to spare, sit down, watch it. It's a nice watch to watch with your life partner, to watch with a friend, to watch with your family. I mean, it is wholesome entertainment. It's not a jaw breaking experience, but it's a good wholesome experience. It's a nice thing to watch. I think that's the best way I can describe it. What do you think?
I think you're right on point, honestly.
Yeah, and of course, like any great anime, that you know that you can't have a good anime unless you have metaphors or similes around imagery that talks about something else. And of course, so the whole movie starts in an airport. And what is an airport? An airport is a hub of lives, of intersections, of transitions, of changes, is a place where people are going in different directions in life. And people come together without knowing and go away. And the cool thing is that all the characters all the characters in each of the individual films are at the airport. And we start from the airport, we find the first character as he starts to reminisce. And when we wrap up the story, you find the final characters going to the airport to go on a trip to America together. And all characters are at the airport. And I like the fact that that's kind of like what the idea that you don't know the story of the people around you. You will never know what they're going through, what they've been through, whether good or bad, what they're going through at the moment. You will never know. Everyone is a story. Everyone is a scene. Everyone is a moment. And until you take the time to actually see it, to read it, to talk, or to relate, you won't know. And I like how that's kind of, I feel that's kind of the message with the way that the stories are presented. You know what I mean? Like everybody has a story. This is just a story of these three people. And yeah, I think that's awesome. I like stories.
And don't we all?
Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. I talked a lot. Um, because that's, I don't know, that's what I do, I think. That's what you pay me
Well,
for,
that
right?
that
Am I getting paid for this?
no,
You should have said
you're not.
yes. Now I want to keep talking to see if someone actually pays me. No, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is
So,
totally awesome.
but yeah. So this is awesome. Edit guys, go to Netflix, check out Flavors of Youth. It's actually a fun time, and I think you guys will enjoy it. And if you have watched Flavors of Youth, if you've watched this, let us know in the comments which one's your favorite of the three. Did you like all three? Awesome. Did you hate all three? Give Isaac a high five. If you, but which one was
I
your favorite?
didn't
I mean,
hate it.
I know.
Hate. Oh,
I'm making fun of
then
you,
again.
you
Uh,
Swedish giant. Actually, you're good looking, Swedish giant. I saw that haircut.
thank you.
um, but yeah, you guys should go check it out. It's awesome. And if you have Netflix, it's kind of free. It's great free anime. Um, I gotta keep saying it. I think I say it every time we cover something from Netflix. Netflix anime library just keeps getting better every single day, and I'm very excited about that.
Ora. And that's certainly a reference.
Awesome, awesome. So, guys, thank you for joining us at the Amateur Taco Podcast. Thank you for being awesome and for spending time with us. Um, if you guys want to follow us on Twitter, that Twitter page is growing every day. Follow us at Amateur Otaku Pod on Twitter. Let us know what your thoughts are, what kind of anime you guys would like us to cover in the future. And we will listen to you and we will cover it. As of right now, Isaac, Leo, and Mike, if I'm not correct me if I'm wrong, my friend, you guys are gonna start. You guys finished covering My Hero Academia season 5. By the way, I listened to that
Yeah.
episode. That was awesome. Awesome job, guys. Um, so I know you guys are covering that, but now you guys are gonna start covering both mangas. You're gonna do My Hero
We're
Academia manga and Vigilantes.
Yeah, and Vigilantes, yes, and we are going to
Nice,
cover
nice,
other mangas pretty soon.
nice. I'm very excited about that. Very excited. So, we're going to be covering the ingenuity of the house husband, which is this weird collection of very crazy shorts that we thought was based on House Husband, but is actually inspired by House Husband, and it still has all this comedic quality. I think it's like one of the best parodies I've seen in a while, and I think it's really wholesome. So we're going to be talking about that. We know that House Husband episodes are dropping very soon, so we'll be covering those again, those additional episodes in the future. We're going to be covering JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, at least season 1, very soon, because I know that season 5 is scheduled to drop on Netflix sometime. Is it 5 or 6?
6, as far as I know.
And it's going to
And
go on
we
Netflix.
are going in December, and we are going to cover them all, even though season 2 is 48
Yes,
episodes long.
correct.
Oh,
Correct. And of course, I gotta say this: we are gonna cover JoJo's. We're gonna cover a lot more things, but November is the moment. Cowboy Bebop is coming. I cannot wait. I hope we get a real trailer very soon. I am very,
that
very, very excited about that.
that
And
react them doing that opening in live action. It was cute, but it was executed wrong.
I mean, I guess we'll see. But we'll talk about that more whenever we actually see the show. So,
Yeah, we
guys,
are
if
also
you love,
covering the. We are also covering let's not forget that we're also covering Violet Evergarden movie in November. We're just waiting
yes,
for
yes,
some of
I
the other
cannot
crews
wait.
to. We are just
Yes.
waiting for some of the other crew to finish the series. So
Yeah, I can't wait for Violet Evergarden. I can never be without more Evergarden. Violeto. Love it. So, guys,
I
if you love
love
the
that
Amateur
series.
Otaku, follow us on Twitter, Amateur Otaku Pod. Follow us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with your friends if you love what we do, the Amateur Otaku Podcast. If you want to hear us in podcast form, we are available everywhere. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public. Um, where else? Stitcher, Spotify. We are everywhere. Um, but yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. You guys have been awesome, and you should all have it awesome. Peace.
Hej då!